Selamat pagi, I'm Chihiro. One of my favorite Malaysian food is satay. Last time I ate satay and I got stomachache because of raw vegetables. Not because of satay kambing, satay daging, but raw vegetables always cause my stomachache. Like carrot, white radish and onions, especially in Malaysia, not in Japan. Speaking of raw food, it is often said that you should not eat raw eggs, but I love raw eggs, especially with white rice and with soy sauce put on the rice and then mix it. We call it tamago kake gohan. In Japan, all raw eggs are considered as edible. Some people in Malaysia may not believe it, but most of Japanese believe it's possible to eat raw eggs and they like it. Why can Japanese eat raw eggs? One of the reasons is because most of eggs are pasteurized before being sold. Pasteurization originally means to expose a food to an elevated temperature to kill microorganisms, but it keeps the food taste and quality. It can use for milks, cheese, yogurt, wine also. And most of Japanese eggs are pasteurized. That's why we can eat raw eggs in Japan. But in Malaysia, most of eggs are not pasteurized. Pasteurization is not always necessary to eat raw eggs. Some people eat non-pasteurized eggs like kampung eggs, and they are not always getting food poisoning by salmonella. But that means not all eggs cause food poisoning even without pasteurization. But how can we know whether the eggs are edible in raw or not even without pasteurization? In this video, I will explain why pasteurization is necessary and how can eggs be produced safely. I have experiences working at natural farming poultry farm in Malaysia, and I learned a lot of things from chicken hens. Basically, salmonella is killed by pasteurization, so the eggs are less likely to cause food poisoning, even if they are raw. That's why it is said to be safer to be pasteurized. Then, how to pasteurize eggs? If we do it at home, we can just boil the eggs with 60 degrees Celsius for 3 to 5 minutes. But usually for commercial eggs nowadays, sodium hypochlorite is used for pasteurization. Sodium hypochlorite is kind of chlorine and it can cause many problems to human body like allergy and eczema and atopy also. Because sodium hypochlorite does not only target salmonella, but it also kills other useful microorganisms. When eggs containing sodium hypochlorite enters into our stomach, even the intestinal bacteria may be killed. If intestinal bacteria are reduced and microbial diversity gets poor, so it's easy to cause allergies. Health problem can arise. Some people may think that we don't eat eggshells, so it's okay to pasteurize the eggshells. Actually, the shells of eggs has small pores called stomata. When you wash the eggshell, liquid passes through the pores and it goes inside of the shells actually. So basically, not all eggs contain salmonella. In fact, salmonella exists in soil and everywhere in the earth. They are not very strong potentially, but it gonna be dangerous when the number of salmonella increases in the environment. They are not very strong potentially, but if it's only a few numbers of salmonella, it's not even harmful. it can be easily killed by other microorganisms in humans' intestine. In other words, salmonella itself is not enough harmful to be scared. If there is balanced ecosystem in the environment, they cannot pass abnormally, and we can eat the raw eggs even without pasteurization. Pasteurization is just a treatment after the problem cause. This is not even solving the potential problems. There are two potential problems. The first one is the bad environment where the salmonella can increase its abnormally. The second one is the eggs are too weak to get infected by salmonella. To solve these problems, there are another two factors to be improved in poultry farming. Those are feed and living environment. Nowadays, most of commercialized eggs are produced by most effective method to provide eggs as many as possible. That's why feed and living environment is less priority for big-scale poultry farming. By the way, I went to Tesco near my house and I saw eggs sold with very cheap price. It was only like 5 ringgit for one tray, 30 eggs, yeah. 30 eggs for 5 ringgit, very cheap, right? But how come the eggs are so cheap, I wonder. So actually there are some reasons why eggs are so cheap at supermarket. For example, one of the way to produce many eggs is to let chickens live in a small cages without window. In Japan, 99% of chickens for meat are free range actually. But most of chicken hens for egg production are living in cages. In cages, it's more difficult to keep the balanced ecosystem. Less ventilation, less sunlight to kill bacteria, and sunlight is very important to enhance immune system also. Salmonella can easily burst and then go into the egg cell too. That's why pasteurization is necessary. Studies have shown that the numbers of salmonella is getting lower in well-ventilated house than bad ventilated house. This is same as us humans also. If we are living in dirty environment, can you imagine? All day, every day, we will definitely get depression and easily get disease. So also, it is more difficult to lay eggs as chicken hens feel uncomfortable. So that's why the poultry producers may give hens feed including antibiotics or antidepressants or hormones. If chickens keep eating such food, is it really safe to eat the eggs laid by those chickens? Not only sodium hypochlorite, but also antibiotics are said to cause allergies for humans. Furthermore, for producers to keep eggs price down, genetically modified soybeans and corn may be given as feed because of those are so cheap. So as I mentioned before, most important things for good quality eggs are feed and living environment. So these two factors are correlated with each other, and any of them should not be missing. If these two elements are good enough for chickens, it's not necessary to pasteurize eggs because the eggs have potential to protect itself. However, it's very difficult to find good quality eggs enough to eat raw recently. That's why I've started supplying super eggs. For our super eggs, no sodium hypochlorite used, no antibiotics used, no hormones used, no chemical pellet used, no synthetic food used. So the egg itself is enough strong to pinch up the egg yolk. I will talk about our eggs in next video. So please subscribe my YouTube channel and stay tuned. Jangan lupa press suka butang di bawah ya. Jumpa lagi.